Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
You've got your problems, baby. I got mine. Let's spend it all by putting it together. Yeah. When you say you love me, it don't mean nothing. If you cared, you'd be there like you used to be, yeah.
I'm searching for the words to make you realize that I really, really want you to stay. Oh, tears of frustration I hold inside, but if you walk away, you'll make this grown man cry.
Don't leave.
No, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no.
Don't leave me, girl.
LOL.
Please stay with me tonight. Don't leave me, girl. Please stay with me too.
War ha, war ha, war ha, war ha ha, war ha ha ha, war ha ha ha, war ha, war ha, war ha, war ha ha, war ha, war ha, war ha, war ha.
Whoa, ha. Whoa, ha, whoa, ha. Whoa, ha, 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 ha. Whoa, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, whoa, ha. Whoa, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, nigga, you did that, nigga. You did that today. You did that on today, nigga.
I watched the verses. I got goo-wop in my veins.
Violence, nigga, streaming.
Yeah.
It's running.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Blackest Show About Nothing, the land of lawlessness. This is Jaden XD.
Welcome to hell. Ain't that right, Big Red?
Oh my god, I am XD, aka the Chuck D of homosexuality, aka homo without a pause, aka the gay heavyweight. I'm opening the show from with that from the hell from now on. Welcome to the hell.
Welcome to hell. Never know how.
AKA the Gaffy White, cause nigga we all got pain. AKA Magnificent. AKA Hoisha. No one is starting, a new day is starting. It's me. AKA your auntie's favorite auntie. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get through this. Whew, only because in my head. Because I think of like a new theme song. Highway to hell.
Highway to hell. I'm not the one who's so far away.
Oh God, I don't know why that's so funny. AKA your auntie's favorite auntie, AKA Mrs. Swig Low No Chariot, AKA Dank Mitchell cause I stay on Mars, AKA the Black Linda Richmond, it's like butter, AKA the gay Mary Poppins cause I'm practically perfect in every way.
It's like butter.
AKA home on the floor. Tanta more. AKA eat all the fags at penis. AKA Barbara Streisand. People who need people.
Us.
AKA Mr. 19%, because every day should have at least 19% of me. AKA the Belle Dottie McClurkin. Catch it. AKA I'm every woman that's all in me. AKA Shirley the drag queen. AKA Star Up because I bring me. AKA Mr. D4L because I'm the baddest heifer on the flow. And AKA the oil tycoon True Paul Charles. And AKA Brad Kwanda because if I can't reach the base, darling.
Get that dick out my face, darling. I am Jade, a.k.a. Big Red, a.k.a. a.k.a. the Diablo Diva, a.k.a. the Mary Jane Mommy, a.k.a. Jade de Todo Hades, a.k.a. La Señorita Problematica Favorita, a.k.a. Jersula. Keep singing, a.k.a. the Princess of Pan-Africanism, a.k.a. Michael is still trash, a.k.a. Griselda Negra, a.k.a. Kathy Bakes, a.k.a. Big Mama of Brewster Place, a.k.a. negative 19% because nobody needs any of me, a.k.a. the Black Mrs. Frizzle, a.k.a. Noah's former landlord, a.k.a. Katniss Cunt because I will hunt you niggas, a.k.a. Carnitas Bay, a.k.a. Jadeficent, a.k.a. the Doobie Sister, a.k.a. one of Master P's 2 or 3 hoochies, a.k.a. D.L. Hughley, Drag Mother Extraordinaire, a.k.a. Sardine Sargento, a.k.a. Jade. Huh! What it is she good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Especially today.
Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Happy, Indigenous Peoples Day.
All that.
And also, capitalist weekend.
Yes, all three of those things are true at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Feliz Navidad. All that. How was your week?
My week has been really, really good. I am just came back from the mountains, and so that was great. Tristan and I went, and we went with 2 other friends who are just really, really dear friends. Everybody, obviously was safe beforehand and all of that, got tested and all of that. So we went up to the mountains, rented a little cabin house, and made dinner and drank and chilled out in the mountains. Literally just got away from the city and looked at the mountains. And now I am prepping for Indigenous Peoples Day because that is what it is. And I probably won't be partaking in Capitalist Weekend unless there's something I just really want, but I don't think there's anything that I really need right now. I don't need no TVs. I bought a face steamer. It was already on sale. So, we here. I had a good week.
Good. Awesome.
How about you, Framed?
Oh, I've had quite an eventful week, and I have stories.
Oh, I can't wait to let me hear them.
And a bunch of XD's Corner. So sit down and buckle in.
Yes.
So my week was cool. Just another week of quarantining, in the words of Roland Ray, I'm charging my chair, minding my business.
Oh my God, can I?
Listen.
Nigga. First of all, I don't know how I stumbled upon that, whatever that beef is.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw him say
Santana,
I was there just charging my chair, minding my business, and the fans popped up. But then I sent this to Crystal and Fran last night.
Oh no! Oh, with the wheelchair going through the through the
protest.
window. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, right? Say it. Say it louder. One more time.
Purr.
I like that. Oh, what? Oh, what? I'm not moving. It's nothing going on. Yeah, go around. Purr.
Purr.
Yeah. Purr. Go around.
Move to you, bitch. Oh, what? Boy, the fuck on.
Yo. That nigga tickles me boots. That's right. Purr. I like that. Go ahead, please.
So my best friend Kyle lives near me, and so I commissioned him to come over to cook chili because he makes an amazing turkey chili.
Ooh,
So-
does he?
Yeah, so I was at the grocery store getting some items. Now, I used Instacart, and a lot of people on the internet have been saying, ban men from shopping on Instacart. They're horrible shoppers. Au contraire, mon frère. Let me tell you, out of all the people that I typically get male Instacart shoppers,
Yeah,
and
me
they're
too.
the only ones who actually take a picture of shit and send it to me to be like, are you sure this is what you want? I wasn't sure. I'm just checking in. I'd much rather you be overly check in with me before you just give me some bullshit and then I'm going to be mad.
Well,
So-
yes. I agree.
I say this to say, Brenda ruined my Saturday. So, Brenda decides to basically not bring anything that I requested.
Yeah, Lamar's fucking up right now as you speak.
Well, I mean,
Literally. I'm literally sitting there like, request replacement, nigga. Stop refunding
Yeah.
me.
yeah, like, girl, like, don't. Anywho, so Brenda brought me a bunch of shit that I didn't need, so I had to go back to the grocery store to go get the stuff that was necessary to make the chili. So I needed to get Dayquil because it's always good to have Dayquil in the Cribbington, you know what I mean? So I go to the pharmacy where it is, and of course it's locked up. Now, I have a strong, I understand why they do it, but I also feel like sometimes it's racism.
It's always racism.
Most
bro.
times. Most times.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, fine. So I go to the pharmacy. Nobody was in line. They all pretended to be fake busy. I'm like, girl, it's fine. Whatever. I'm like, can somebody come
If
and
you and your
unlock
polo
the-
don't walk over here and open this goddamn crate so I can buy
I was
this
like,
deodorant.
Right. I was like, can you unlock this? I'm asking nicely. Oh, sure. We'll have somebody come over there and unlock it for you. We'll call somebody. I'm like, okay, well, if y'all pharmacy, y'all don't have the key, that shit is weird because it's like right here. So I go stand by it. I'm waiting a long time. Like 10 minutes goes by. And I was like, nigga, what the fuck? So I'm high. So I'm like, y'all lucky. So I go back to the pharmacy and I'm like, is anybody going to help me? Or, did you call? They're like, oh, we'll call. Sorry for the wait. They call on the intercom, can somebody come? Another 10 minutes goes by. And I'm like, I don't want to go to another store because normally I would have been like, fuck y'all. I don't deal well with bad customer service. I'm going to another store. But because we're in the age of Rhodesia Mitchell, I'm trying to limit the amount of stores I go to. So I'm just going to, and I'm already mad because I went to a store previously and didn't have what I needed. So ironically, I needed Mexican stuff and I went to a Mexican market and they didn't have what I needed. That was irritating. So anywho, so I go and I'm like, again, is anybody gonna help me? So then another 5 minutes pass and this old guy comes up and he's shaking. I was like, oh, this is an equal opportunity employer. Okay. So I go. Listen.
We did say welcome to hell. We did
Yeah.
say that.
I mean, it was. I didn't say what type of ailment. I didn't say if they had, if they had an ailment. They were just very, very slow at gathering my things.
Okay. All right.
So I'm like, so he said, so where are you done shopping? I was like, no, I just need to get this so I can continue shopping because I didn't want to, this is where I wanted to get my shit first. Like, it was on my mind. And he was like, well, you can't walk around with it in the store. So I'm like, oh.
They do that at Michael's.
I was like, oh, God, okay. Michael, the art store?
Yeah, if you buy the acrylic finish shit to put on stuff, because sometimes, I paint my own pots and stuff. They have to come get it and then take it to the front.
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, I'm walking around here with my 7-year-old. Can you give me this goddamn... I got paintbrushes and shit, nigga. I'm not about to huff.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to make lean, nigga. Like, I'm the only one in this motherfucker that bought yeast. Okay? You know what I mean? So it was like...
clearly, I'm about to make bread, nigga. What kind of person do you think I am?
Right. So... I'm like over it. So he's like, well, which lane are you going to check out at? I was like, sir, who knows that information ever? You know what I mean? So I'm like 4. So he's like, okay, I'll leave it at 4. I'm like, okay, bet. I go around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to shop. So they have a line that's like one line only. And like there's a lady with a clipboard or a lady with a name tag. And you know what I mean?
I know
a lady
exactly.
With a name
yes,
tag
I do. A beautiful individual.
That creates haters. She's directing traffic.
Or you could shorten it. Beautiful individual hating.
Yeah. So of course, it's my turn. Obviously, I get up. Okay, number 4 is there. Ain't no cashier there. Of course, that lane is closed. So how am I going to get my medication? So I'm like telling the lady, like, I'll go wherever, but I need to get whatever is at 4. And she was like looking at me like I'm not speaking English. I'm like, I'm speaking clearly. There was no language barrier. So I'm like, I don't understand what. And she's just like, I'm not understanding. What are you trying to say? Like, you have medications. The pharmacy's back there. So I'm like going, like speaking slower and slower. So then this lady comes up to 4. She was like, I got it right here. Come. And she's like, how are you? I was like, I'm not good. And I let her have it. I was like, I want to preface this by saying it's not you. And she was like, I appreciate that. And so I let her know all my frustrations. Why the fuck did I want to wait 25 minutes for some Dayquil?
Facts.
I go on Twitter and I say, don't lock up things, like medication, laundry detergent, all this good stuff, if you're not going to have the staff to be around to unlock it.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I understand it's a pandemic, things take a little time, but 25 minutes just to get a measly old bottle of Dayquil?
No, that's OD.
No. So I go on Twitter and do my usual complaining like I usually do.
Did you change your Avi?
No, I didn't.
Good.
Which is why I'm telling the story. So I didn't change my story, and I added the grocery store directly. They DM'd me, and they were like, can we have your phone number, email to make this shit right or whatever. I was like, okay, I didn't expect anything of it. They called me an hour later, which means that corporate had to have let them know, like, hey ho, y'all fuck it up, because they see the type of how many followers I have on Twitter or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so the store manager called me, and he was like, hey, I definitely want to apologize. What happened? Can you tell me exactly what happened? What times? And I was like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I'm not trying to get anybody fired. I just want
especially to you.
Right. And I was like, I'm not trying to do all that. I just want to let you know that your customer service was not up to par. It was early Saturday morning, so there was nobody in there. And like, I was letting y'all know that it sucked. I'll wait for you to do better. So he apologized. He was like, please come in. We'll comp you on some things. And just extremely apologetic. So I was like, that's wow.
Nigga, you better go in there and buy cheese, steak.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm buying everything that I do not eat. Like, I'm buying
if they sell Caldero pots, like, get you one of those.
Mm-hmm. I'm buying all the oxtail.
Yeah, absolutely.
The all miracle. The what's cheese. That miracle part of the tenderloin, the beef tenderloin that Miss Tina cooked on America's Barbecue Showdown?
The loin.
Yeah, the loin. That part. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway, that was
Pearl.
So that was one story. Number 2. XD's Corner. I understand that we are quarantining, and I think this is a larger discussion about content creators during quarantine, and I'm kind of glad that you and I.
So that was
I'm kind of glad that you and I took a break from recording when you were in LA.
Oh yes.
And the reason why is because it's very difficult to normalize staying at home when your faves aren't. Like, I was talking to Chris Rogers about this, about how, like, you know, film industry can go back to work. They take precautions or whatever the industry guidelines are, and they're going back to filming like everything is normal. And I'm like, but I watched, like, Trixie and Katya on Netflix, and they're still doing the at-home quarantine thingy. And I'm like, ultimately, you have to relate to your audience. Like, how would it have looked if were like, oh, we're filming together, we're doing all this, we're working, and it's like, but we're encouraging people to stay home. So I say all this to say, you know, it's very difficult to like we have to, in order for people to stay home, we have to normalize staying home. And a good portion of that is through media guidance, because a lot of people don't read. So they just get their news from, which is my next point. You know, so they'll get their news and the way of life through TV and news outlets and stuff. So it's like, how can we fight or flatten the curve if we're not being beacons by showing that, hey, this is how you do it, by staying the fuck at home.
No, facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's like they're doing all this like, oh, the Connors are at home, and I'm like, that's cool. I understand we have to have some sort of escapism is important and all that good stuff, but it's also like, so are people's lives, bro.
No, it's facts. And that's why I think, you know, we try to take our little excursions and stuff, you know, and I'm open. We go upstate, we'll go to the mountains. But we go in a quarantine and stay away from niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I want that to be clear. Like, that's why I'm very explicit about, hey, the people, these minimal people I was around, everybody has been responsible and gotten tested. There's no parties happening. It's no this, it's no that. And when we're not trying to take those little escapes to get out of here and try to keep some peace of mind, we stay in the fuck home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I built the quarantine, and then, like, that is it. And the
Which is important,
gotta
too.
be the quarantine. It can't be the quarantine and a whole bunch of other niggas. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose.
Right. Like, there's an importance of getting a quarantine. Like, I hope people can or have the ability to do so. Because I'm not saying that people need to be alone.
Right.
That's the furthest thing I want people to be. Because the holidays suck, pandemic or not. So I'm like, you know, just be a little bit more responsible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And my last point. Next XD's Corner.
He had something on his heart today.
I did. So, my favorite place for us is on Patreon, right? And I think we have the most fun on there. You guys should subscribe. I think it's the best place. We have a wang dang doodle.
Dude.
But I do want to say something in general. You know, nothing that we ever do on this show is personal. I think if you listen to us long enough to know that neither of us take ourselves seriously at all. And I feel like if we took ourselves seriously, then you guys would not listen to us. You know what I mean? with that being said, with our social commentary and things, there's nothing personal. They're just analyzing things that we see on the screen. I have noticed, just not with people on Patreon, but in general on Twitter and things, that, to say bluntly, a lot of times folks have allowed white people to live in their heads rent free and allowed themselves to be extremely bothered by white people and everything that they do.
Guilty sometimes, yes.
Yeah. And I don't think that's the healthy space to live in. I don't think everything is an attack on blackness. I don't think everything is an attack on blackhood or anything like that.
Especially here.
Right. So with that being said, I think that we have to just take things at face value as they are. When we talk about things on TV and whatnot, I think we should just leave, if we're not saying names or have anything deep intel or anything, in the words of Monique, we should just keep it on the playground. You know what I mean?
What you see is what you get.
Because when you accuse people of taking things personally, that is a direct, even though a person may not intend it to be, but if you're saying that, I feel like you're taking things personal, that is like, oh, you're stepping to me with some shit.
You challenging me to a duel, nigga? Because we can go.
and so the intent may not be there, but I always say intentions don't mean anything. So
Dr. Kia says intentions don't absolve you of your shit, nigga.
Right. So
I paraphrase.
And lastly, I wish that everybody would take a step back and to unclench, relax a little bit. I think the problem with us as black folks is that we're always in a sense of heightened awareness, and sometimes that spills over in attacking our own because we're so used to being attacked by other people. So I encourage and implore everybody who listens to this podcast, who subscribes to our Patreon, to just relax your shoulders a bit and have fun.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Because I still whoop your ass, nigga, in the street. Take that personally.
Yeah. With that being said, I am on the Oprah Rose Show this week. I'll put in the link in the description where you can listen.
Were, nigga.
Yeah. I'm on with Didi and Gigi. TT was not on this week. She was traveling. But we talk about TV, and I go into depth about my year of hell no. Mm-hmm. I go into my year of hell no, and I explain how I am sick and tired of black excellence. I'm sick. I'm so sick of sissies. I don't know what to do. Well, not that, but you know what I mean. Like I want people to have a real conversation about who they are and where they are in the world. Because I feel like if you're still striving to doing all this black excellence shit, you're not minding your own business. But that's the furthest conversation that you can go listen to on the Oprah Rose Show, which you can find here on Spotify as well. Subscribe to our Patreon. It's a good time there. We have new videos.
Well, yes, come to Patreon. Have a good time. We have a good time. We just having a good time.
Yeah, we have a good time. That's all. Just a good time.
I know it's gonna be good. That nigga's gonna be like, unsubscribe right now. You can't please everybody.
No. But,
Can't.
let's take a break, and we'll be back with 90 Day Fiancé. Oh.
God. After these messages, we'll be right back.
This is the blackest show about nothing.
This is Jade and XD. I'm Jade.
And I'm XD.
The show is two best friends talking about anything and everything.
And sometimes we have awesome people on, like Crystal and Kid Fury from The Read.
When I was in high school, there was this girl in my computers class with me. I wish I could remember her name so I could apologize. But I just used to call her Atrocious, like, as, you know, a pet name because... Hey, Atrocious! Being someone who was constantly the butt of a joke or picked on or whatever, I just saw this opportunity to, like, make fun of somebody else, and I did it.
Somebody needs to do a study into silver teeth and the link between, like,
The
silver tooth to prison pipeline.
Yeah. Silver Tooth to Prison Pipeline.
And New York Times bestselling author Michael Arsenault.
And Mama kept trying to interject at any moment that she could sing, and it was like, beloved, you're not even the best singer on stage. The girl from Destiny's Child is with the Platinum Soul album. It's like, not you.
And of course, there's us,
Jade.
and XD.
You can listen to new podcast episodes every week on Fridays
Listen to Jade and XD.
for free on Spotify.
And we're black, talking about 90 Day Fiancé.
The other way.
Yeah. We're still not at the season finale.
That wasn't the finale? No, it wasn't.
Nah, it wasn't.
Oh my God. There's still more. They could really just scrap Devin and Jihoon. No, they can get rid of them.
Yeah, they can.
Matter of
They
fact, let's
can.
start with them.
Okay. So, episode begins with Devin making Jihoon clean the house because Alicia and Devin's father are coming to see the new apartment. They haven't seen that apartment because, remember, they were living in like an Airbnb when Alicia left
Yep.
the last time. So she's just kind of like, can you pick up? I don't want, my mother to think this is a pigsty. He was like, yeah, I got it. I'll clean. Because he's deathly afraid of his mother-in-law.
Oh my fear.
Yeah. So Alicia, the family comes to the apartment and she approves. She was like, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm not sold on this nigga, like, for real. But, the apartment's cute. I'm not gonna front. So while they're visiting, Jihoon's like, I gotta go see my mama about a box. Essentially, it was like a dowry kind of situation where they has to go pick up this gift to present to Alicia and Mr. Devin.
Because we don't know his name.
Yeah, and as a little like bridegroom gift or whatever. So he goes to pick up the box, but before he enters, it's like a Korean ceremony where Devin has to go hide because she's not supposed to be present for the gift exchange because it's like a box, the ham box,
Right.
for your daughter. So he enters with two of his friends who we've met before, with Squid Mask, giant Squid Mask, who ward evil spirits away. And I peeped because he was like, I'm gonna keep this around because Alicia right there. It was also filled with like a lot of good luck fortunes and well wishes and prosperity. And so he went to go find Devin because she was hiding in a closet. And, that was that. And so, go ahead.
Oh, no. I wasn't saying anything. Please continue.
Got it. So eventually, it's almost time for the wedding, and Devin hasn't tried on her dress yet. And so she's doing a fitting at home with her mother. I don't know why she kept saying, I've gained weight and my butt is big. But I'm like, you're trying on a dress fully clothed.
And also, it's not.
It's not big. It's not,
It's not.
miss. I mean, maybe it might be for that dress because at the size you bought it, but again, it's not at all ma'am.
No.
And again, why are you trying on a full dress? It's like, you know what she did? You know how niggas used to like walk around with like basketball shorts on for no reason
Yes.
underneath their jeans?
Yes.
That's exactly what she did.
The dress was pretty though. It was a pretty dress. I really like how it fit her. I love the flow at the skirt of the dress. I thought it was a really beautiful dress.
Me too. I wasn't hating on that at all. I thought the color, I liked the pink underneath it. I think it was, you know, pretty.
I thought so too. So, you know, her and her mom are trying on the dress, and her mother asked her, so like, you know, how you feeling about Jihoon? Like, what's he up to? And she defended him. She was like, it's so much better. I feel like we're in a really great place. Our communication is good. His family's making a huge effort with me. You know, during the miscarriage, he was really, really supportive. His mother was really supportive. And I'm grateful. And, you know, then of course Alicia does what Alicia does and cries because she couldn't be there. Which, understandable as a mother. But also, girl, it's not about you right now.
Right.
You know, when your daughter goes through something like that, you want to be there. I'm like, yeah, you do, but I mean, it's really not about you right now. You could just express gratitude for the fact that she had a support system while she was going through such a traumatic thing. But, you know, she's Beverly Goldberg and she can't help herself. And
Right.
then we see the previews for next week where this factory wedding is what Devin called it, is happening.
Yeah. And she looks pretty. I don't know.
Right.
And so does he. He looks pretty. So, you know, I don't.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know what all the nervousness and shit is about. I'm like, you all are already married, so what's all of this? Are you ready? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm very confused.
Right. It's kind of like, well, never mind. Y'all not going to get a can at me. So,
Who's next?
okay. So,
Yeah, everybody after that, I know. Oh, you want to do...
Cheese Stick is she could do better.
Yeah.
Because that was very quick.
Yes.
So, Cheese Stick has always, you know, Papa's been an emotional, you know, he's been a bag of emotions, but he's also hasn't been stupid.
No, he's very Cancer, but he's a smart dude.
Yeah, and so when I was watching this, I was like, this is the most sense he's ever made. And I felt like she was so emotional because this decision was a smart one and it affected her. So he kind of pussyfoots around by telling the cameras, like, I have something to tell her. And you could already get with the fact that he's about to tell her that he's moving back to the States.
Right.
Which is what the case was. So they go on a little walk. She's got her little LV backpack. And they get to like this little hiking point and overlooking Columbia. And he's like, so listen, I got to move back. You know, I have to work. I have to make I had to make a financial decision for our future. And how am I going to do that if I can't provide?
And my
here?
job is not giving me any more extensions, you know,
Right.
and I can't work here. And we're not getting married right now. I'm going through my savings. It's almost blown through. Like, we have to do this the smart way.
Right. Which, you know, I totally get. Mm-hmm. So, she was pissed at first.
Yeah, she
You know, and she was also pissed at the fact that he had bought a ticket already.
Yeah, she felt like it was deceitful.
Yeah, because she was like, you're making decisions about you. You're not making decisions about us. So he was like, regardless if we had this conversation, my answer wouldn't have changed regardless, because the fact of the matter is you don't want to get married to me because you don't trust me. Therefore, I cannot live in this country.
Yeah.
Without, you know, period. I can't earn a living. And then you're going to resent me for the fact that A, I can't work, and B, eventually I'm going to get deported back to America anyway.
Yep. And she's like, this is bullshit and it's disappointing. And I'm like, disappointing, yes. Bullshit, everything he's saying makes total sense, girl. And you know that. You're just, the problem is she has started letting her guard back down. Mm-hmm. And so she is deathly afraid of being hurt. Understandably so. But, you know, he does seem to be all in. You know what I'm saying? He does seem to like, this seems to be his jam and his shit. So she also tells him he's only thinking about himself, which also not factual, because the nigga is actually thinking solely about you all and what's going to make sense for you. If he was thinking about himself, he would just stayed there or said, I'm going back to the States and you can figure it out from here. So I think she's just literally really, really hurt. She asked about a timeline, you know, and he's like, I don't know what that is going to be, but I do know that I'm going to come back. Like, my goal is to be here in Medellin, but I have to do it the right way. So, you know, it gets to be tense. She says she doesn't know if she's going to wait for him. And it's because they both have a lack of trust, and they're both deathly afraid of what the other one will do. But ultimately, they do love each other, you can tell. You can tell they want to be together. And so as he's leaving, so you fast forward, he's packing up his stuff and he's getting ready to head out, which I guess is a few weeks later based off of what he said. And he's packing up and stuff, and they're having a really emotional goodbye. It's a very Cancer and Virgo goodbye.
Yeah.
Very Cancer and Virgo.
Yeah, she don't show emotion until
she does. Yeah, like right at the end, she, you know, and she admits that defense mechanism was out of fear. So she does say that she wants to make this work, and when, you know, I believe she wants to make it work. If she says it, that's what she wants to do. I believe both of them want to make it work. It's just a matter of figuring out what's going to work for them at this point. So we'll see what happens. It was a really emotional goodbye, though.
Yeah,
for them.
It was. And, you know, well, they're not going to make it because they don't trust each other.
No, they don't.
So, you know, they knew that it was, you know, on some Gladys night, neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye.
Neither one of us.
Right. So, yeah, they're not going to make it. I know that for a fact.
You do?
No, but you can tell. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything else about them, but I got a feeling. Shittig.
Let me see. I'm going to look for her Instagramian. Did you follow her from our account?
No.
Oh, here she is. Let's see. Well, I'm about scrolling down. There is not a Tim to be found yet.
Yeah, but then, I don't know.
Oh, I'm not seeing him anywhere on here.
Oh, well.
Anywho. Who's next?
We have, who do you want to do last? Let's say that.
Oh, man. Probably Braces.
Okay.
And BBD.
Okay, so let's do Baby Cool and Fahu Doris.
Okay.
So, update. Judith's real name is Janice. So, I actually like Janice. Janice makes a lot more sense to me.
She does.
Dr. Weinberg would marry a woman named Janice.
You said what?
Dr. Weinberg would marry a woman named Janice.
Yeah, he would. They belong together.
Yeah. So, we enter in their lives where it is Janice's last day. She's headed to the airport. Dr. Weinberg had to.
He gotta go
Ari's
to school.
Father. Yeah, Ari's father, Dr. Weinberg, had to go to work because, you know, he is an essential employee. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he had to go. So, you know, I'm still going to call her Judith. So, Judith leans in, they say goodbye at the hotel and stuff. And so she finally gets an alone time with Ari. It's just she's taking her to the airport, and she leans in and she's like, "Hey,
Yeah. Let's try.
I don't know about Ethiopia for little Avi. You know what I mean? She's just like, I have some concerns. Mainly not only the environment, but I feel like you giving a lot up for this nigga that ain't you.
She's
You
like, this is
doing a
not
lot
your
of-
personality. Because you could tell she's always been a strong-willed something.
She was like, this ain't, I get it. She's like, Arya, Fahu Doris is like, you're going to have to accept that I live in Ethiopia now. She was like, it has nothing to do with you living in Ethiopia. Me and your father have accepted that already. It's this relationship that I don't know about because y'all don't communicate. And this is even worse than ever before. You don't know what he does for a living, for real. Everything has been pressured, especially surrounding religion. Like, she was like, just keep me and your father informed so we can support you.
Yep.
Whatever
she's like,
that
I'm
may
concerned
be.
with the amount of sacrifices.
Right. And valid. Like, and I think that was the most, like, responsible. And I'm really surprised by her parents, too, because I thought they would have a really adverse reaction to Binion and his culture and all that good stuff.
I
But
assumed,
it's actually
yes.
quite the opposite. Their concern is like, well, y'all just have way too many cultural differences. Not even that for you, and you're too much of a head. We know our daughter, and you're too headstrong for you to change. So how is this going to work?
Right. And because they seem to embrace him. Like, even when she, what's her name? Judith was leaving, ASAP was like, bye, Mom, I love you. And she was like, I love you too. Like, and even, Dr. Weinberg and his kind eyes. So it's actually not the impression that I thought initially, because what I thought initially.
Absolutely.
But I have to agree with the amount of sacrifices that she's making. It's not evening out. The playing field is not even at all.
All right. And so Ari is like, I'm too exhausted to cry, but I really don't want you to go. And so, her mother leaves. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to it's time for little Avi to get baptized.
Yes, the moment has come, honey.
The problem is, Binion never told Ari what the process is like or anything. He just assumed that she knew.
Which,
And
again, the communication.
Exactly. So she's like, I don't know what time. What do I do?
And that's the same thing that happened with Devin. She's like, I don't really know how this wedding is supposed to go. Nobody's talking to me.
Yeah. Like, I don't really get it. So sure. So she sits down and they take the baby and they have the whole ceremony. And of course, little Avi's crying his little eyes out. Because he's, taken out of his element. Mm-hmm. And so she's concerned and, and the baby's fine. And they go through the whole ceremony and then they go out back and there's a whole celebration for, for Avi, whose Ethiopian name is Tibebe Selassie.
Yes.
What I thought was really cute was that a part of their custom is that they wrap the child in injera.
ASAP Injera.
Yeah. And which is to bring wealth and good fortune, and then everybody at the function eats the injera after you wrap the baby in it.
I thought that was
like,
beautiful.
oh, yeah, me too. I was like, well, aw.
Yeah, I love meaningful traditions and customs like that from different cultures. I like learning those different things. I think they're beautiful.
Yeah, same seas. So that was that. It ended on a high note with them for now.
It did. She was in a good mood. And she even said it. She was like, this is the part of the day that I've been looking forward to. She was like, being able to see his family celebrate and how happy this makes me. I'm not so much concerned with the baptism. I'm happy that we're creating beautiful memories, and I'm always going to remember seeing his family in this beautiful place. And then here comes his sister with her shady ass. And I know sometimes it's a language barrier. I do understand that. And sometimes it's shade. But she comes and she's like, I've never seen her like this before. She's like, it's so nice. She was like, she was acting good today. Her behavior was good today. And I was like, oh my God. Am I a dog or a baby? But it ended on a high note, and everybody seemed pleased for now.
Yeah. We'll see.
Who's next?
You want Braces or Jenny?
Jenny.
Oh, God.
Or do you want to save them for last?
Let's save them for last. That was an emotional roller coaster.
It was.
And a hilarious one.
It was like, it was so many things at one time.
Yeah. Same thing with Braces and Bodega Baby Daddy.
That's just...
So with them, right, it begins with, and remember last week, Yazan said, I want to link up with the translator so we can have,
clear conversation.
Clear conversation, because there's just some shit that's just been fucked up in translation.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to a restaurant, and, they're greeted by this interpreter, or translator, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And Yazan explains, like, I've given up a lot for you, and I really, really love you, and, you don't have to convert right away, and I just want to make it known that I love you, and I want to make sure that you love me, too, because I'm going through some shit. I just got to be sure. And Brittany's like, okay, I don't really understand this whole family dynamic. You're really vague. I don't understand how we can get married, why you're so pushing this marriage thing. None of this still makes sense, doesn't make sense to me at all. And
she questions him for the first time. She says she thinks he might, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, she was like, I need to make sure he's not playing me and making all of this up. And I was like,
right.
You have set up anyway, go ahead.
Right, you sat up in his face, whole ass married.
And also, not only that, you set up in his parents' house and saw his father may not have threatened death, but you've seen the turn of events and how everything has come out. So you really doubt what he's saying?
Right, like even if you're like, I'm confused, I don't know what they're saying, I don't know what's going on. You were in that room with his mother and his father. They were pointing at you, being loud and angry. They weren't pointing at you saying that they loved your weave, girl.
They also they have been vocal about disapproving of your Instagram and your social media and all of these things. So please stop acting like you don't think that this nigga is potentially telling the truth. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Like, let's be a little bit more responsible here.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yazan is reluctant to share more information about like his daddy trying to kill him because he doesn't want to scare her off.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells him that she wants to meet with a member of his family so she could get an idea for whatever was said and how they're feeling about her.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is the most honest conversation that they have had, or the most clear, I'll say that. So the next day, light-skinned Keisha leaves, who I'll no longer call her light-skinned Keisha. I'll call her Joy from Honey.
Oh my God.
Joy Bryant. So she's leaving, and they're like, don't leave me, girl. And Angela is her name, and she's like, Brittany got herself in a real fucked up situation. And I hope she gets herself out of it, because this shit ain't right for anybody involved.
Nope.
So Braces tells light-skinned Keisha Rico Nasty that she reached out to his brother, Obida.
Yes.
And who wanted to meet with her, actually. because he was like, I got to get some shit off my damn chest.
Yeah. Yeah. I got
And,
something to say.
Yeah. So Angela's like, oh, bitch, like, be careful. So they go and meet up. Her and the translator meet up with with Yazan's brother, and they have the realest conversation ever.
So she doesn't know how his reaction is going to be to her because their run-ins in the past, she said, have been awkward. She said initially when she met him, she felt like he liked her, and then his stance started to change, and he was a little bit more standoffish, and he just didn't seem too fond of her. Go ahead, Bokeem. Go ahead, nigga. So he's actually warm when they greet each other. You know what I'm saying? He waves, he stands up, he shakes her hand, and they start talking. And he's open to listening first. He doesn't try to talk first. He actually is like, okay, no, talk. Like, I'm ready to hear what you got to say. So she's talking and she's, expressing herself. And then he comes in and he's like, I'm scared for my brother. The point of view from the family is that he's abandoning his traditions and his family and his culture to marry a woman outside of that and adopt her traditions and cultures, which that's clear that's not what's happening, but that's the perception. So he's giving her the perception. And then he drops the bomb that we have been seeing for some time, that there are members of the family who hate him and want to kill him, i.e. his father. And that's when she gets the severity of the situation. I don't think she's really fully understood until this moment how serious this was. So she's bawling. And his brother is really, really warm and comforting. He puts his hand on her arm. He's like, I don't want to see you cry like this. And he's like, if you're shedding tears in this way, I wasn't sure before, but I feel like you love my brother. And I know my brother loves you, which is where this wall comes from. And it's comforting to know that you love him in this way. But I need you to understand that he has lost a lot. I'm not going to leave his side, but he's lost a lot. And he will lose more. And that's where you may have to overcompensate a bit for all of those relationships because he is doing all of this for you, which... that's another conversation, but that's what was translated. So she's like, is there anything I can do to make this easier? Can I convert or whatever? And the thing about them that I do really respect is that they're not just in this just because their parents said they need to be in it or whatever. Like, they're in this because this is what they feel is right. So he's like, no. You don't join Islam just to appease anybody. You do this because you want to. He's like, I'm going to do what I can to protect you all, but that ain't the way. Like, that ain't it. So all he asks in the end is that she takes care of him. So she's got a lot to think about.
Yeah.
She was, I don't think she realized what she had gotten herself into.
She didn't. And I think, people get caught up in, and this is something we saw with last season with Aladdin and the other lady from Florida.
That was still weird.
Even though his English was a little bit more advanced, there is still a disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
that just wasn't fostered or wasn't fixed before they decided to be a union. So I don't think Brittany and Yazan are together at all. He's being fine on Instagram, so
let me go look.
Go to Sarah. He's handsome.
Nah, he's handsome.
But yeah, that was them. I'm still surprised that she ain't been attacked, thank God, especially by members of his own family because of the vitriol that they have for her and him. So I hope and pray for peace, you know, I hope this show, you know, I don't know what his relationship is like with his parents now. They probably completely disowned him for this television nonsense, but
I'm sure. Oh, that's not his hair. That's a coat. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yazan's out here trying to be out here, child.
yeah. He out here. I'm into it.
Who's... Oh. All right, let's get to the mess.
Oh, our old faithfuls. No pun intended. Jenny and Samit.
Oh, my God, I hate you. I just realized.
This title should just be called Beef, which, you know, is ironic because beef is supposed to be sacred and peaceful in the community.
They don't eat beef.
Oh, but they serve it, though. I'll tell you that.
Especially his mama.
Samit's mama. Woo. So, it opens up with, again, Jenny is still crying to her brother and sister-in-law, and they're still looking at her like, bitch, shut up. like, why are you crying? Like,
Truly.
Ultimately, you're going to keep crying and all this good stuff, but ultimately, you're going to have to tell mom and daddy.
Yeah, they're going to be upset. And his sister-in-law was like, listen, they grown. But he needs to at least give them the courtesy of telling them. And we see exactly why he didn't want to do that ahead of time.
Right. And so they probably was like, so you need to tell them before we will.
Yeah.
Because we are going to tell them.
So, like, it takes us about 3 hours to get home. That gives you enough time to make a phone call, or we are snitching.
Because his brother explains to Jenny, like, he's about to lose his family over this. The exact situation with Yazan and Brittany. Like, he's about to lose his family, and, like, it's way more than this, right? So, eventually, Samit and tells his parents.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, we coming to see you. So they came down to where Jenny and Samit stay. You know, Jenny was trying to be all BB the homemaker, making kheer and shit. And it was like, okay. She was like, I know your mom likes it, which is also delicious if you order from an Indian restaurant.
Oh, yes.
And he was like, okay. So she's like trying to be all nice and congenial before, you know, his mama and them get there. Next scene, cut to his mama and daddy. Woo. We never been here because we don't like the bitch Jenny.
Let me tell you something.
They were very
They
direct.
showed up like death row, nigga. They showed up a united front, not with the
We've never
shits.
been here because we don't like Jenny.
She goes, I don't fuck with her. No, she didn't say that, but she's like, I'm
Literally,
not with it. I'm not with it.
Now, the next 5 minutes of television is his parents cursing Jenny in Hindi.
Yep.
And, you know, again, we had not defending Jenny. We know that she's trash. We know that she lied and sat up underneath, you know, of his parents, that they were hunching in the closet. You know, I get it. However, what I disliked about that whole exchange, albeit funny, because they were like,
Oh my God.
They called Jenny.
Find another oldie. Why couldn't you find somebody 100 years old? Is she the only one? There's so many Americans better. Are you going to have babies with her? Oh my God.
And the problem is, my issue with the whole thing is that they said that shit is in a native language. They should have said that shit to her face in English.
But I think
if
they
you
were so
felt
pissed
bad.
that they just didn't even. They was like, nah, nigga, this flies out how it comes. We're taking back the night.
I know, because because his mama sat there. She was like, I'm taking you home today.
Yeah.
She was fully prepared to take her son back home. And Samit was fighting like, no, I'm I'm not gonna do that. And so Jenny's like sitting there like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And so it gets to a point where it gets so emotional that they're cursing each other out. And I mean, I don't know if they speak Hindi, but in their language. And Jenny just gets up and is like, I can't do this. I need to go back home. I'm breaking up this nigga's family. Like, I can't do this. And like Submit's mother is legit hurt. And it all boils down to, what are other people going to think?
Yep.
What are other people going to say about how I raised my son?
Yep.
And what values did we impart on our children?
And they said that people get married to have families, not because they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. They told him he was getting old because of her. His gray hair is turning gray because she's old. It was a bunch of things that did not make sense.
Yeah. It was a lot of antiquated ideals.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, she's older than both of his parents.
Yes, she is.
But it's like, if you felt this strongly, then why did you pay? If you felt this strongly for your own child's happiness, like you said you did when you paid for that divorce, then why did you do it? Then why aren't you supporting this aspect of his happiness? You know, or is this some like karmic realignment because you felt like you knew it was a mistake for that arranged marriage, and so therefore you paid for him to get out of it because you felt like that was your mistake, and now this is his mistake that he has to pay for?
They don't want to see his side. There's no compromise because his mother made she said an interesting thing. That he was like, and I was kind of laughing because when he was bossing up on him, he was like, well, the law don't have no barriers against me marrying Jenny. So I can do it right now. I was actually giving you all the respect of asking you for your blessing and wanting to talk to you ahead of time. And his mother said, there's no law above the parents' law. And I was like, oh yeah, nah, these niggas, they're not going to hear you.
No, they never will. They never will. And like Samit just takes like, he's like in their face, like, what is wrong?
Yep.
Like, Ma, I was dying.
On his knees.
On his knees. Why can't you accept this for me? And they just can't. They can't get over that fear of image. So they're at an impasse, and I don't see. Maybe Jenny ends up staying in India. We don't know. But that's how it ended.
She runs out of the room. She's like, I need to go back to America. I'm like damaging a family. I gotta, like, I can't do this to a family.
Yeah.
You right, but you already did it, bitch.
You already did it, so might as well keep the party going.
And she acts so stupid, she irritates me. She acts like a teenager. Like, she acts like, even when she opened her mouth, because truth be told, they wouldn't have had to even worry about all this snitching shit if she would have kept her mouth shut. It was because of her. She's like, well, we're having a ring ceremony. And they're like, and she's like, well, you could just not tell them. I'm like, how old are you?
Well, I mean, they weren't going to tell them anyway.
Right.
They weren't going to tell his brother and sister. She let the cat out the bag. But again, why do we have to hide it? Like,
you know,
fuck it. If you really bout it, and you really don't give a fuck what your parents think or whatever, let's just meet me at the altar in your white dress.
Right. But you don't want to. Why do we have to tell them anything, bitch? You don't do that. Because if your children did that to you, you'd be pissed. You'd be pissed. That's it. That's them this week. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. I can't wait till they're done.
Ooh, me too.
We can move on to another show. I'm excited for what's next.
Let's take a break.
And we'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This is the blackest show about nothing.
This is Jade and XD. I'm Jade.
And I'm XD.
The show is two best friends talking about anything and everything.
And sometimes we have awesome people on, like Crystal and Kid Fury from The Read.
When I was in high school, there was this girl in my computers class with me. I wish I could remember her name so I could apologize. But I just used to call her Atrocious, like, as, you know, a pet name because...
Hey, Atrocious!
Being someone who was constantly the butt of a joke or picked on or whatever, I just saw this opportunity to, like, make fun of somebody else and I did it.
Somebody needs to do a study into silver teeth and the link between, like,
The
silver tooth to prison pipeline.
Yeah. Silver Tooth to Prison Pipeline.
And New York Times bestselling author Michael Arceneaux.
And Mama kept trying to interject at any moment that she could sing, and it was like, beloved, you're not even the best singer on stage. The girl from Destiny's Child is with the Platinum Soul album. It's like, not you.
And of course, there's us,
Jade.
and XD.
You can listen to new podcast episodes every week on Fridays
Listen to Jade and XD.
for free on Spotify.
And we're back. So let's talk about the elements of Thanksgiving, since we cannot spend it with one another like we usually do. And I hope you guys had a safe, wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. But let's talk about Thanksgiving.
Yes. You know, we like to do this every year.
Yeah, so we've decided to talk about the elements of Thanksgiving, the earth, wind, fire, water, and heart of the holiday.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Captain Planet, he's our hero.
5-2-0. Let's start with Earth,
Okay.
my favorite.
Yes.
Earth is we're both Earth signs, and so we love all things comfort and tasty treats.
So the
So,
food, the most important
yeah.
part of the day.
Yeah, it is. What are you making? Are you doing turkey, or are you doing ham, or what are you making?
I'm making, I keep the menu pretty standard every year. I don't really vary far. But, just for shits and giggles and for reiteration's sake, I do turkey, which I am brining right now. Ham. Usually I do a third and possibly fourth meat, but obviously this year is much different. And we're not having the truckload of niggas that we usually do. So all the food that I'm cooking because this is what I want. And this is the time of year when I do it. So I will be making a turkey and a ham, a glazed ham, in which I'm going to remix some sort of glaze on the stove. It's going to be delicious, but I think I'm going to put liquor in it. And,
Ooh.
I always have to go off with the Brussels sprouts, with the shallots and the pancetta and the apples with the maple mustard glaze. I do that every year. Your collard greens, your standard collard greens with a smoked turkey neck, muy importante. I prefer the neck.
We're going to talk about that part.
Yeah.
And the fire part.
But yes. Your mac and cheese, obviously, this year I'm doing Gouda Fontina cheddar.
Ooh, I love Fontina. Fontina is slept on. Don't sleep on Fontina.
Fontina is slept on. And when I I just have to take this moment real quick to big up my boy Ajamu, who is one of the most incredible artists that I know. And his amazing wife, Nicole May. They are family to us. Ajamu But first of all, Nicole May cooks her ass off. Like, we was cooking this weekend, nigga. We ate dinner one night at 4:30 a.m., but that's another story. It was lit. Ajamu makes the best mac and cheese a nigga has ever had.
Really?
Nigga, it was crispy and crunchy on top. And, you know, I was like, oh, this is but I didn't say it was sexy yet. It was crispy and crunchy. I said, oh, this looks good. Pop that spoon into it, and that wop all came out
Oh.
with that crispy, crunchy top. Nigga, but the flavors, like, Ajmu makes the best mac and cheese, so I aspire. But we're doing mac and cheese, real good and creamy, you know, and with a crunchy top, and mashed potatoes, because I need it in my life. I want it in my life. Homemade cranberry sauce. I know this is the great debate. Okay, do what you want. If you want the ridges, eat the ridges. If you like homemade, have homemade. I like homemade cranberry sauce. I grew up eating the can. Niggas really fight over this shit.
They do.
They really
Ultimately, I mean, I mash up the canned version anyway when it's sliced on my plate, so it's like ultimately it's the same thing.
They also have the canned one with the chunks of the cranberry as opposed to the slices that some niggas buy as well. So
Yeah.
just say you like gelatin. Anyway,
Yeah.
just say you want cranberry jello with your Thanksgiving meal, and I'll be just fine with it because I too grew up on cranberry jello. Usually I make a potato salad. This year I'm not going to.
You know, a lot of people shy away, be like, why is mashed potatoes on the Thanksgiving table? And I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah, wait, who's questioning why mashed potatoes are on the table?
A lot of people don't understand why mashed potatoes are on the table. And I feel like if we're going to keep any tradition from, you know, yesteryear, at least, you know, mashed potatoes.
Because there's lots of gravy and, like, it's just a perfect accompaniment. I can't listen to you. You have no sense. Obviously, I'm making a cornbread dressing. Sweet potato pie, apple pie. I might be missing something, but that's the gist of it. And it's just because this is literally the one time of year that I make all of those things, and I love to eat all of those things together. And so, you know, whether it's 4 niggas or 17, I'm going to have my meal.
Yeah. I'm not even mad.
You get me.
I'm so jealous I won't be there.
Now, another element of Earth, especially us being Earth signs, outside of the food, which, again, most important. XD mentioned that we love comfort in things. So one thing that I'm doing differently this year that I don't usually, I'm setting the table, nigga.
Really?
I am, and you guys will see a beautiful presentation of said table. I actually have a rented box from Social Studies, which sends you, if you want to have a dinner party at home, especially during quarantine right now when you should not be going out, you can... I mean, it's everything. It's flowers. It's centerpieces.
What now?
It's called Social Studies, and they essentially send you a small suitcase, and it's got everything you need for a proper dinner party. From the centerpieces to the coasters to the... You'll see it. Don't worry. I'm going to take beautiful images. But I'm setting the table this year. We're eating at the table with place settings and glasses and shit, nigga. My life is different now. After this weekend in the mountains, niggas was putting shit in crystal bowls in the middle. We had lazy Susans. It was table settings, okay? We had a cocktail, a bubble, and a glass of wine to accompany dinner, nigga. I'm living life different now. A bitch is bougie.
I'm not even mad.
Yes. I might even make my family dress up.
You should.
I should. Get real Huxtable in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
I think I'm going to do it.
Do it. I am going to spend Thanksgiving in the house, Avi, but I'm going to watch all of my favorite Thanksgiving holiday TV episodes.
Peak comfort.
Yeah, so
Are you cooking?
I am not. I have commissioned somebody to do that for us.
Okay.
So,
It's who I think it
it'll
is.
be- yes.
Okay.
So, they'll be delivering the foods and the good stuffs.
Okay.
And their food is amazing anyway. So I have been.
It's the first time
does it
you're not
compare
eating
to
my
yours?
Thanksgiving. I'm not even worried about that, nigga. I'm not even. We grown, nigga. There's many people who can cook in this world.
Yeah.
But it's the first. Do you realize it's our first Thanksgiving apart in a decade?
I know.
That's
I know.
crazy.
And the thing is, like, even if I was in New York, I would have had to been at home anyway.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, you would have. I would have been like, take your Uber over here, grab your plate at the door,
Yeah.
and then be on your way.
Yeah. That's the one thing that's the challenge,
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be here in the Chris Nai.
I'm not mad at it.
Eating and watching TV. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too heavy.
Another element of Earth and Earth signs that I intend on doing this. I intend on doing this every year, but I think I've made more of a plan this year. I forgot candied yams as well. Even though Noah won't eat them because she don't like yams. It's crazy.
Really?
Yo, let me tell you something. As black people, we have forced our children to eat things for forever. And I fully understand that it comes from a place of survival and you gonna eat this food and niggas are hustling and you're not gonna sit up here telling me you hungry and I cooked all this food. Nor are you getting ready to go to school and be all malnourished because you didn't feel like eating this food. But sometimes we gotta listen to the babies. The girl really does not like sweet potatoes. And of course, like when she was a baby, she eat mashed sweet potato. But as she got older, she does not like sweet potato fries. If I make baked sweet potatoes, she don't like them. She don't like candy yams. She don't like sweet potato pie. Like, she really does not like sweet potatoes. And I had to sit with that one day, like, first of all, my kid don't like candy yams. But I was like, she really is a whole person. She truly does not like this thing, and I need to listen to it. But
I appreciate you for doing that, though.
I have to. Now, when it comes to green things, nigga, eat that food, eat those nutrients. But there's certain things where I'm like, you don't like this, and I need to understand that you don't like this and honor that. But what I was telling you initially was, every year I plan to prep in a certain way. This year I made a plan for myself. And I'm truly determined to not be hustling my ass off on Thanksgiving Day. The greens will all be chopped. Everything will be assembled and literally ready to go in the oven. The house will be cleaned ahead of time. And I intend on taking a shower and sitting down and eating food. I am making this a determination.
Good.
Yes, I don't want to be washing dishes after. I don't want to be doing none of that. I want to sit down and watch programs with my third plate and my homemade whipped cream and sweet potato pie and apple pie. That's what I want to do, nigga.
I gotta go pick up a pie because I'm not baking nothing.
Valid.
I made spoon bread the other day, actually.
Why don't you order a pie from your favorite pie place?
Because technically it's Tuesday and I will never get it.
Oh.
Right. Since nobody can really do shit here, everybody's ordering things, and so
Everybody's
I would have had
backed
to
up.
make that. Yeah, I would have had to make that order a long time ago.
What about the person who's...
Oh yeah, I think I'm. Yes, there's dessert being delivered, but I want my own. I want
I'm like, no, but can you commission them to make a pie that you want?
Yeah, I could do that.
There you go.
I could do that.
That's you buying a pie, nigga.
That's very true. But I also really want to go to Trader Joe's and see if they still have that apple tart that they had last year.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
The problem with Trader Joe's, they don't have everything every year.
No, they don't.
because they have discontinued that pumpkin bread pudding that I have been sick about for years.
I'm sick because I make a pecan pie every year, and I'll do one from scratch, but I really like their pecan pie mix, and I'll judge that up, their bourbon pecan pie mix. I really want that, but I'm like 3 desserts, and it's literally just us. It's this OD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fire is the next element.
Yes. Oh. Hot takes.
Hot takes. So here is where I have delved into the derelicts of society, aka Black Twitter, and I have searched and found arguments that, we should bring here. Number 1, in the greens, pork versus turkey.
Oh, God. Here y'all go with this sweet grits versus cold grits, hot ketchup versus cold ketchup. Listen. Yes, XD and I speak about it quite often. The great migration to smoked turkey from ham hock.
90s.
We understand that there is a huge portion who are staunchly raised in the very deep South and religiously believe that pork belongs in the greens. Truth be told, if you can't cook, your greens are going to be nasty either way. That's the hot take.
Boo, yeah.
That's the hot take.
Boo, yeah.
If you don't season them properly, if you overcook them, if you undercook them, if you chop them up too fine, I personally don't like turnip greens. People mix turnip greens in their shit. That shit tastes bitter to me. So, like, if you can't cook, your greens are going to be nasty whether you put turkey, pork, or pigeon.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. What's yours?
I don't disagree with you. I didn't even think about that. Like, your food going to be nasty regardless if you break it with pork, turkey, neck, chicken.
Right.
Rib, meat, whatever the fuck, a nigga. Like, it'll all be bad if you don't know how to make them.
And if you do know how to cook, you can literally take you can make a pot of vegetarian greens, truth be told, and still make them shits hit if you know how to season food properly.
True. I have learned since I've had to go on a restricted salt diet recently, and I have been affirmed in the fact that you don't need salt, a whole bunch of it, to...
Salt is used to enhance flavor, other flavors.
Yeah. I have, now that I've adopted a lot more of a no salt, I'm not saying it's completely no salt, but it's drastically reduced than what it used to be. I'm like, just this little, you don't need much. If real chefs use the real herbs that they need to achieve the flavor.
And that's why you always see a little salt bay. You do a little hit of salt on a hot plate at the end. Now you put it in there, but that's how it goes.
Exactly. But what about who gets served first?
Me, nigga. I've been cooking for 3 fucking days. I eat first. That's the hot take.
Valid.
The host should eat first. Now, granted, the host is not going to eat first because the hosts usually don't eat first. And usually the person who's doing all the cooking is not hungry at that point anymore.
They never are. Never are.
But they should have the courtesy given to them of being the first ones to eat.
Right. When somebody brings over a bottle, should they leave it or take it back with them if it's unopened?
Okay. This varies.
Oh,
no. Okay. On a regular Thanksgiving that's not 2020,
yeah.
you leave that bottle of liquor. Unless the host absolutely insists, like, let me explain something to you. I'm not going to drink this shit and it's going to go to waste. Please take this back with you. You leave the bottle because that's tacky. The only way you take a bottle with you is if it's a potluck and you all are all convening in a neutral space and everybody brings stuff and then there's like half bottles of liquor left all over the place. Then everybody just take back what you brought or what you're drinking or whatever. But if you're going to somebody's house and eating and that's your contribution, you better leave that goddamn bottle there. Don't even think about bringing it back with you.
True. Yeah, I say leave it there. I don't believe in going to a house empty-handed.
No.
So that would be your gift.
Yeah.
If you don't drink alcohol like I do, either bring them a plant, a pie, or, a nug.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
Did you have any like famous family arguments during Thanksgiving growing up?
Famous family arguments. I think the biggest thing would be before my grandparents would come over, my mother would always tell me and my sister to make sure we hide the good gin. Because every time they'd come over, my grandmother went straight for my parents' liquor cabinet, and my mother got sick of the shit, so she would buy the cheap shit and put it in the cabinet, and then she would take all the good shit and put it in her closet. Or make us go run and put it in her closet. And it never failed that every time they walked in the house, they greet us, and then my grandmother goes straight for the liquor cabinet to make a cocktail. It's like when we went out to eat. Me and Santana went out to eat. I met my grandparents at happy hour last year, and I told her before we got there, I said, my grandmother is going to have extra liquor in her purse, and she's going to top her drinks with that. And she was like, no. I was like, yes, she is. We got there.
Just like you. Just like you. Wonder where you
wow,
know, got that
never
from.
correlated that.
Mm-hmm.
Never correlated that. Well, that's like the main argument. Also, my grandmother loves to sing for the family, and she sings beautifully. It's funny, she sings a lot of Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And like Stephanie Mills and shit.
It's like butter.
Oh, she be singing Evergreen.
Yeah.
And my grandmother
like butter.
She carries a cassette of instrumentals in her purse so that she's ready to perform at
That's
any
very
given moment.
Aredo Rahim of her, and I am not mad.
And my mom, so the arguments got to be my mom versus my dad. She's like, let me tell you something. I do not want to hear your mother sing tonight. Do you hear me? And then my grandmother gets there, and my grandfather is my grandmother's spliff. He's a spliff star. He's a hype man. So he'd be like, honey, don't you want to sing for us?
Oh, my God.
It's a good drunken gin time. They all drink
that
gin.
That sounds so fun.
It's pretty entertaining. I'm not going to hold you. And meanwhile, my Nana is over in the corner getting lit off the good gin because she found it.
Yes.
Drink you drink, wink you wink. Think you think, and link you link. Drunk you drunk.
That's sitcom worthy.
It is. This, yeah.
You know, my family, we never fight. So it's like, and if we fight, it's super like gentile-y, like, you sweep it under the rug and you be passive aggressive about it.
Yeah.
So it's like you never address anything, and you just go on and being,
y'all are real suburban
uppity
with it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never address anything head on. It's just how we do. It's how we do as Protestants. You know what I mean?
The gay cousins are at the table. So are you all seeing anybody? You know already.
Exactly. Girl, I'm focused on school.
Cut the
I
shit.
am 35.
I'm single forever now. Stop it.
Yeah, child. That's always the thing as gay boys. You don't got a girlfriend. I'm focused on school right now.
That's it. Or I'm focused on my career if you're really
focused
grown.
on my career. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm cool, child. Listen. Anywho, wind. Another element. So these are like the fleeting moments that happen during Thanksgiving. Mainly is the cast or band of characters that show up.
Yes.
And sometimes there's always a new face.
Yeah.
Everybody has an uncle who has a new quote unquote wife every
Yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the auntie and the uncle who have never gotten married, which is fine.
And they've been together for 35 years.
And there's always a new kid each year who discovers that they're not really married.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, they're not married.
Like, what you mean? And you also find out at some point or whatever that your cousin's real name is not what you thought it was.
Yep. My cousin Brooke, her real name's Melanie.
See? Never would have thought.
Everybody got a nickname or everybody goes by their middle name. That's just what it is.
Exactly. There's so many, everybody's like, oh, that happened to me. I swore that my uncle was named this, but it's really that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else is there?
There's always the one family member that brings the white girl to the function.
You may not bring your white wife. But there's one who always does not follow the rules. And then she comes and she don't speak.
Man, that's the problem. If you would speak, you'd be all right.
I'm like, bitch, don't come up in here and watch us like we a zoo. Engage.
Yes, engage.
Engage, bitch. There's always the one cousin who's a little too drunk and the one auntie who's a little too drunk. That's always a one.
And there's always the auntie that, shows up late.
And leaves early.
She shows in likes the wind. She comes in when she wants to.
She doesn't come to eat because she doesn't like her family's food.
She don't come to sit down.
No. She was at a different Thanksgiving where they ate bougie, colorful carrots. Yes.
Yes, and they had different types of mac and cheese.
Yeah, and a turkey. And maybe a carrot salad.
No. You know what? They serve duck.
Oh, yes. Something off-kilter.
Yeah. A different kind of protein.
Mashed cauliflower.
Or she went to a seafood Thanksgiving.
Why was I on the phone with Dustin last night? And he was talking to his boo. And he was like, baby, let's get a seafood tower for Thanksgiving. I said, why you so ghetto?
If that nigga wasn't allergic, we would have that.
Yeah. I know. Same. Like, it's just a Tizer. It's a Tizer. We're going to have us a little Tizer of a seafood salad or seafood tower, and we'll come through with the eats after. No, there's always a band of characters. Then there's, the cousins who you go out to. Well, actually, no, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Let's go to water.
Water, yeah, water, goddamn, water, water, okay, water, what, water, drip, water,
Water.
Thanks, ugly God.
Drip, splash.
Water is what you clear out. It's how you go with the flow. It is the element of music is water. Because, water is nutrients. It's necessary.
It's necessary. So I've created a small playlist. Just a small one. Just a few tracks. You can put what you want on there afterwards. But it's just a nice little compilation of ditties that make really nice, music in the background, not too aggressive. It's not stressing you out. You know how, music will play in the background and then there's one song and you'd be like, what is getting on my nerves? It's none of that. So I've created a little water playlist for you, a little Thanksgiving, little flow playlist, starting with Thundercats' Dragon Ball Do-Rag.
Yeah. Let me hear my do-rag.
Yeah, nigga.
Oh, baby girl, look at my do-rag.
Okay, you don't even realize the nigga singing about do-rags. That's how smooth it is. That's how smooth it is.
Because at first I was like, oh, this is the jam. Again,
Yeah.
like we talked last week about Thundercat.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden I was like, nigga, is this about do-rag?
Yes, it is. It's about Dragon Ball Z do-rags.
It is. I will say the video a little weird, but most of his videos are weird.
I'm like, are you surprised?
Right. Because this has Quinta B in the video, and he's like harassing. Anyway.
Remember that floor length do-rag I've been talking about for years and years?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just like a fitted sheet.
No, nigga, I'm getting an actual floor length do-rag made. Okay? Rihanna bit off of me. She heard that episode of Jada Next.
It can't even touch the floor anymore because we in a pandemic. Unless you go let it just sweep your floor. In your house.
I'll let it come to like my ankles, like these niggas' pants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Ankle length do-rag. The next track on the playlist is Black Gold by Esperanza Spalding.
Necessarily, everyone will know your words. No. All your words. Think of all the strength you have in you.
Yes. Smooth it out. Do you have one you want to add?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, we played Christmas songs on Thanksgiving.
Because niggas be so hyped for Christmas.
Niggas so hyped. So mine is from the LaFace Family Christmas album.
Yes, Black Excellence.
It's TLC's Have a Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
A Happy New Year.
Have a Merry Christmas and a lots of good cheer.
Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Remember when we thought Chili could really just like blow down because they would let her have them little parts and it was them little baby ass runs? Anyway.
Yeah. We were real forgiving in the 90s.
We were.
We were real less discriminating in 1994. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's
I
facts.
can't have anything I want to. Baby, it's extra.
Infectious, but still, I choose you.
Hey,
With
me,
me, I'm gonna better
thing it up.
No. Okay. Well, the next one on my list, because I told you I like a jazzy sound, baby. I like a nice jazzy black sound in the background. The song is Something by Snarky Puppy and Layla Hathaway. Y'all know I love a Layla, even though Noah hates her rendition of Cherish the Day.
Really?
Yeah, she said, "That's not the real one!" Oh, and what's cute about Something is the, because it's Snarky Puppy featuring Layla Hathaway, but the title of the album is Family Dinner Volume 1. So I thought that was extra appropriate. You want me to keep going, or do you have another you'd like to add?
Oh no, I have one that is super important.
Please.
This will probably go on a Christmas playlist, but this is very indicative and important to black families around the globe. It is from a musical called The Wiz.
Oh, yes.
And it is the song that they sang at the family gathering, led by Teresa Merritt. Don't miss the feeling that we have. Don't miss the feeling that we have.
And I'd like to know it's there, the feeling that we have when you know that you can come.
Listen,
Yeah.
The Feeling That We Have by Teresa Merritt from the Wiz soundtrack. It is first of all, that scene in the movie is the blackest thing ever. It's how you celebrate black function.
That movie is
and
very black.
We'll get into the next section anyway, but there's like always a random baby knocked out in the back. It's just, cousins come over. There's a couple whose marriage, like, who see each other, they be getting close or whatever. There's always a new couple with a baby. You know what I mean? There's always that one uncle. You know what kind of uncle I'm talking about. So it's like, you couldn't take those feelings for the world. You know what I mean? Don't miss the feeling that we had.
That's a good choice, friend. Okay, you did that. Yeah. I like that. Because mine are just vibey. They're just like letting the vibes align. Because the next one is Adillalude, number 2 by Robert Glasper.
Ooh.
Yeah, nigga, I like a jazzy sound in the background. I like a jazzy sound in the background. What you got?
Ooh. It's another Christmas tune.
What the fuck, nigga? What? You're on the wrong episode.
No, but there's no Thanksgiving music, nigga. There's no like how there's this is Halloween. There's no like this is genocide. You know what I mean? Like there's no song like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta celebrate a pagan holiday.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me Google songs.
So my next
song. I just want to know.
So my next song is a jazzy Christmas tune. It's What Child Is This by Vanessa Williams. It's so jazzy.
This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste to bring.
This is my favorite Christmas song too.
Ever?
And it's by her. Yeah, it is by her. It's so interesting.
What the hell is this? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I Googled songs about smallpox, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, that sounds problematical.
It's about anti-vaxxing.
Oh God.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm not posting this. But I just want you to see the name.
I'm going to say the name of the song too.
No, don't say it.
What I will say is, can I say the artist? The kids whose parents hate them?
Yeah, that's the name of the artist.
Yeah, the kids whose parents hate them.
And the song has smallpox in the title.
Yep. So you could do your Googles.
Yep, there you go.
That's a whole...
I just want you to know the song is very negative 19%. It's very...
Ooh. Yeah, it is. I don't even know where to go from here.
So my next song is So What by Miles Davis.
So what? So what? So what?
That was Noah's Go to Sleep song when she was a baby.
It's interesting how Badu used that in the beginning of her Badu Live. Badu.
So What is special to us, but that's on my Thanksgiving dinner water playlist. What you got?
So, after Thanksgiving, you want to get up, you with your family, and you can't have a family function without the wobble.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. 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 Get it now, yeah, get it now.
Oh, we're not really the wobble. We're not wobble kind of niggas. One side of the
But
family is one's not.
See, is always one
It's
side.
always one side.
Yeah. So I picked the wobble.
My mother's side is the wobble side.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Get in there.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we wobble this year? No, it's just not a wobble year. Not my niggas.
I don't have any wobbling my spirit, so
I'm gonna wobble my ass to the couch and watch a program.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I only have 3 more. Again, my playlist is very different from XD, so if you take my songs, extract them, and put them together, you'll have a nice dinner playlist. But the next one is Poetry by the RH Factor, Q-Tip, and Erykah Badu.
Poetic, I mean truly indeed how every seed gets sprinkles with the essence of life to form our breed. Think about it, sweetie, while we give this to the needy. The musical expression is important for progression. Never stop learning lessons, and neither should y'all.
I'm telling you, vibes, nigga, vibes. There's Mad Nog Champa at my Thanksgiving, nigga.
I see.
What you got? Watch it be a Mariah Carey fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks do Christmas.
It is a Christmas song, but it's very, very Negro.
Okay.
And I actually got it by watching the California Raisins the other day, which happens to be the Claymation Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time. If you didn't know,
Yes, it is.
But my next song is The Temptations, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Rudolph.
You know Dancer and Prancer and Dasher and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Do 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 do.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. Take it.
And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Yes.
Hey, Rudolph, come on and ride my sleigh. Hey, Rudolph, you gotta ride my sleigh.
Hey,
yes.
hey.
They went off.
Did that song. Okay?
They did. They did that.
And Silent Night.
Yes.
We gotta wait. Nigga, we got to have it. You about to do, we not gonna have no Christmas episode. You keep doing this.
Child, I mean, we probably won't have a Christmas at the rate this infection rate is going.
That's fair. Well, my second to last song is Yusef Lateef, one of the best flutists on the entire planet. You know, I have a special attachment to the flute, and it's Nubian Lady, 1972. Have you ever heard of Yusef Lateef?
Yes, I have.
Oh, he is the greatest, honey.
I actually heard of him from your old job.
Okay, that's fair.
That's how. Yeah.
Was it Environment of All Jazz? Let me play a little. Wait till the flute comes in. Hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes. Can't get sued yet. Nope. Here we go. And now. Hey. Yeah, nigga. Yusef is that nigga on the flute. And you put him in the background when you eating, shrooming, whatever you do. Yusef is a perfect addition to the table. What's your last one?
my last song is an ode to my gays out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my fellow blaggets in the struggle.
I'm not agreeing with this. Y'all not gonna Nick Cannon me.
You know, Boy is a Bottom by Willem.
Oh, why is that a Thanksgiving song?
Because, you know, a lot of us...
Oh. Wind.
Yeah.
Water. Okay.
Yeah.
Flee.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. There you go. Catch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That
So,
boy
okay,
is
so-
a bottom. That boy is a bottom.
Wait.
It's Willem and Detox and Vicky Fox.
Of course it is. So I have a question.
Yeah.
How do those of said category enjoy a hearty Thanksgiving? How would one, maybe this is a nice advice segment, how would one who identifies as such, how would they navigate a hearty, buttery, delicious Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. First of all, I do want to say that I have finally installed my bidet.
I didn't know what you were about to say, but...
No, I finally installed my bidet, and everybody should get one, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's a little daunting at first, you know, pressure washing your asshole every day, or however often
it's
you
nice.
go to the bathroom. However, because it's like, woo, you should have bought me a drink first. And then it's like, oh, I appreciate, you know what I mean? I appreciate this. To navigate that, two things. Either, you know, your body has a certain amount of hours before it digests things.
Oh,
So you got about 3 or 4 hour window.
Okay.
Like right after you eat.
okay.
For the average person, I'll say. If not, then you should take fiber pills. Like Pure for Men or FiberCon. Take, 2 before.
Okay.
To flush you out
Okay.
by the end of the meal, and then you hop on your app of choice, or you snuggle up with your boo thing, and you
Have a wing dang
toot
doodle.
it up, baby.
And boot it up, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Okay, see,
Yeah.
look, we're here to educate you guys as
'Cause,
well.
You don't got to people like I starved for 72 days. No, like you don't have to do all that. Like science tells us what to do, and you should hashtag know your body. You know what I mean? Like you should always prepare, but
Facts.
don't be out here starving yourself all day for some dick that's probably gonna cancel anyway. So have fun. Like fuck niggas, eat carbs. So.
You heard it here first. XD gave you all the remedy to or what to do so that you can have a good time and enjoy the foods. Well, my last selection on our Water Thanksgiving playlist is, and this was actually not on purpose, Water No Get Enemy by Fela Kuti. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. And that's just a little playlist. Water, flow. Let it flow during the Thanksgiving dinner. You want to let the people know what our last element is?
Heart. It is, the things that bring us closest together, that gives us that warm, special feeling on the inside.
Yes. Yes. First and foremost, I mentioned it earlier, but that's why we saved it for the heart category. Taking a walk with your loved ones. And that walk your cousins especially. But that walk could be anywhere. That walk could be outside. That walk could be down the block. The walk could be the backyard. The walk could be one of the bedrooms that the kids are not allowed to come in. But it's taking a walk with those you love best. And we all know what taking a walk is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's time to eat. All right, just give me 15 minutes. I'll be right back.
Right.
I gotta go get right.
Yeah. You come back in with the mean dark pair of shades.
Yeah. I fly high.
Yes. Absolutely.
What else? What's another heart element of Thanksgiving? What brings you joy?
You know, do you remember getting promoted from the kids' table to the big kids' table?
Yeah.
That was a rite of passage, you know?
And we didn't really have a kids' table. We just had, like, the floor. So the adults were able to eat at the table with the chairs, and the kids had to go find a spot on the floor with their plate.
Because they make messes, so you might as well just clean that shit up
Yep.
off the floor.
Sometimes there's a sheet down on the floor, a towel, depends on where you are, which family member's house, how bougie they are. But it was usually the floor. That was the kids' table.
Yeah.
You remember getting promoted?
Oh, well, kind of. So, like, I think after a while, by the time it was for me to get promoted to the big kids table, I moved out. So,
Damn.
so
By the time it was time to get promoted, you ain't want to sit there no more.
Yeah. But no, there was, I think the Thanksgiving before I moved away from home, I was finally at like I was 17. I was 13, yeah, so I was like, oh, and nigga, I made it.
It's boring over here, shit.
Yeah, it was. Because I was like, nigga, I get all the same food while I'm at the kids' table, and it's more fun.
Right, and we by the TV, whatever, niggas is having a good time.
Right. Y'all act like I can't curse and drink while at the table that I was at before.
I could sneak lick easier over there, actually.
Right. Like, chow.
Because me and my cousins, we were liquor sneakers.
Yeah. I just snuck more desserts than I needed to, that's all.
That's fair. That's
a
fair.
bitch loves pie.
But
after that, I was like, well, girl, like, I have not been home for Thanksgiving. I've been home once for Thanksgiving in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple times, but as like every year I go home. No, not at all. No. I have not been to Thanksgiving home in a very, very long time.
Every year I cook. That's what I do. Every year.
That's literally it. I'm like, well, I'm going to Jade, so. And you've always conveniently lived around the corner.
Yeah, so it was not a problem. And your mom was very happy with that idea. She's like, I'm fine with this, as long as my baby's eating.
Yeah. There was one year I went to your house. I went to Kia's house first, and then your house after. That was the first year I went over.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
And we had at Kia's house. We had it was Mite, Dr. Kia, I think Kyle, Brandon, Cortez. We were all there. We had one of them Popeyes turkeys, which are delicious, by the way. Don't sleep on them. Oh, absolutely. I actually like their Popeyes turkey better than their chicken now.
I really wish I could fry a turkey in my house.
Man, listen, I need to be friends with a little bit more Negroes in LA.
You remember I used to always have a fried turkey.
Yeah, I know, but I need to find somebody. Because, here it might be a little bit easier because niggas have backyards and driveways and shit.
I know. My nigga used to sneak into a school and fry turkeys in the cafeteria, in the gym.
Yeah, which is so unsafe, but it's so delicious.
It was delicious. We always had a fried turkey.
I know.
Damn, how can I
find
fry?
out.
Do they have like a deep fryer, but like turkey size that you can like cover? Let me see.
That's a good question. Let me look. They do. They have contraptions.
Really?
Yeah, they have a turkey fryer with a spigot over down at the Walmart. They have them at Home Depot.
Wait a minute.
Cabela's, Ace Hardware. Oh, yeah, girl.
Wait a minute. Nigga, this might change the game. They're not even expensive.
No, not at all.
Oh. Bitches.
Child, they even have them down at the Dick's Sporting Goods.
Turkey this evening. a minute.
Do you see this Masterbuilt 10-liter one?
Wait, which one?
Well, this.
Oh,
well, you have a lot more
yes.
family. Than,
I don't know if I should do that inside. Oh, electric turkey fryer, no oil. That don't sound right.
would you air fry a turkey?
I'm not doing that. That don't sound right. Wait, what are all these electric fryers?
I don't know how comfortable I feel about doing this shit in my damn house. But, like, I have a patio, I might do it. That's good information, guys. If you ever want to fry a turkey and you can't, they have kits and shit on the internet.
I should have ordered this ahead of time. Damn.
Well, at least you know for Christmas.
That's true. That's true. Even though my goal is to try to switch up the menu. Even though I make that my goal all the time, and then I just end up cooking the same shit. But anyway.
So there's always a random baby somewhere.
Always.
Just a baby knocked out on the bed in the back. Just knocked out. And you're like, whose baby is this? You don't know. It's just a random black little baby in the back.
Usually they're by the coats.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually pretty unsanitary.
Absolutely. All these niggas' coats on your bed.
Yeah, all these niggas' coats on your bed, and then the baby's laying, and all these niggas' coats have been all over the place.
And they all smell smoky or smell like white diamonds.
But somebody's baby is asleep, and it always makes you go, oh.
Exactly.
There's a sleeping baby.
Exactly. But that's literally the end of today's episode, guys.
Yeah, we just wanted to do the elements of Thanksgiving.
Right, and there's way more. Like, we could talk about wigs and fashions all day, and we'll probably save that for Christmas because, you know, Fahu Doris, welcome Christmas time. So, yeah, make sure you listen to us or catch us on Patreon, where the mess truly lives. And we hope you had a wonderful holiday season, and stay up, kinfolks.
We'll be back with more Quarantine Blasic soon on Patreon.
Yeah, we almost had it, but
you know,
soon.
Life.
Life happens, but yeah.
All right,
guys.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Bye.